Have you ever read a book that changed everything? In my 30s, struggling with illness and family stress, a relative gave me Juan Falun. I skimmed it at first, but then I read 8 whole lectures in one night and everything shifted. That same night, I dreamed of stepping from a muddy ditch into a bright open street, and soon, my health and daily choices genuinely improved. This is how Falun Dafa helped me heal physically and find new clarity in life, work, and relationships. On New Year's Day in 1997, I read Master Lee's book, Juan Falun, for the first time and embarked on a cultivation path that changed my life. My siblings and I grew up in a humble and kind family. My grandfather and mother were Buddhists, so although we were not well off, we grew up warm and happy. My brothers and sisters attended school, established their careers, and had families one after another. After passing my college entrance examination, I went on to do further studies. My life appeared to be smooth sailing, but after I got married, I found myself overwhelmed by my career, family matters, and childcare. I would lose my temper and would cry every other day over some trivial family matters, causing harm to my body and mind. By the time I reached my 30s, my body was plagued by diseases, and I was on the verge of collapse. I suffered from many diseases, such as cholecystitis, rhinitis, rheumatism, headaches, dizziness, urticaria, and pharyngitis. Each summer, my blood pressure would drop to 50-70 mmHg, making me so lightheaded I had to squat down to rest while out walking on the street. Each headache episode would be accompanied by nausea and severe discomfort. Each rhinitis attack would result in a week of clear, thin yellow discharge flowing from my nose. The accompanying nasal congestion would make my head feel tight. Each cholecystitis flare-up was the worst, as no medication I took had any effect. I consulted a whole range of doctors. When I realized Western medicine could not cure my ailments, I consulted a person with animal possession, and I became possessed as well. My income was low, but I spent freely on medicine, though my health saw little improvement. I later started consuming health and wellness products, but would fall sick each time I got angry. Our corrupt society, my unsatisfactory work environment, discord within my family, and my poor health caused me to stop hoping for a good life. As I did not expect to live long, I worried about my child's future. In 1996, a relative introduced me to Falun Gong. I told her my poor health prevented me from getting up in the morning and turned down the chance to learn. Toward the end of 1996, my relative came to visit my seriously ill mother. She told me, Falun Gong is actually different from ordinary Qigong. It can lead people on the path to enlightenment. My grandfather, a staunch Buddhist and vegetarian for over 60 years, had often told us Buddhism could lead people to enlightenment. My relative's words stirred my interest, and I asked her, "Is it true?" Hearing her confirmation, I agreed to learn the practice. Master began to purify my body. A few days later, I manifested severe symptoms of a bad cold. My nose and eyes ran, and my head felt swollen. The night before New Year's Day, I retired to bed at 6 o'clock, intending to browse through the book Juan Falun before falling asleep. Unexpectedly, I read from 6 o'clock that evening to 12 o'clock, finishing 8 lectures in one go. At that time, I did not realize the importance of reading the book carefully, so I skimmed through its contents. Despite my careless perusal, the words truthfulness, compassion, forbearance strongly resonated with me. I found forbearance to be particularly relevant since my bad temper was causing me endless regret. That night, I dreamed of running through a dirty, narrow path bordered by a deep ditch. I then waded through waist-deep water before emerging on the other side to a broad street and tall buildings. I knew this was a sign to tell me I had read the right book, found my way, and was on the right path. The next morning, I woke up feeling that my worldview had changed. Certain aspects of my personal behavior were not right according to the book. I also realized my poor health was caused by my karma. I initially wanted to take some cold medicine, but decided against it after realizing my condition was also caused by karma. Surprised, I kept wondering, what book is this? Having studied for more than 10 years and even attended college, my academic accomplishments are acknowledged by many. Yet I have never encountered such a profound book before. Or, extremely happy and excited, I finally felt life was looking up. I spent the rest of the day rushing through housework and other chores so I could read the 9th lecture that night. After reading the 9th lecture, I realized how precious this book was and eagerly started reading it over and over. My grandfather had told us how a venerable Buddha would lead people to enlightenment starting from Changchun, and that venerable Buddha had the surname Li. I remember asking my grandfather if I would encounter the Buddha when he came down to this world. My grandfather replied that it was unlikely and then sighed, "Alas, I won't be around to meet the Buddha." Luckily, I had the good fortune to obtain Dafa. My body was purified within a week, though I had yet to formally start practicing Falun Gong. Before, walking had taken me so much effort that I had wanted to cycle everywhere. Now my body is light, and I do not feel tired, no matter how far I walk. My rhinitis, cholecystitis, and rheumatism never flared up again, and I finally know what it feels like to be disease-free. I quickly found a practice and Fa study site. As my body and mind became tempered in Dafa, I gradually reclaimed my life. I gave up many bad habits, such as playing mahjong, drinking small amounts of alcohol at social gatherings, and dancing in nightclubs. These evil habits were prevalent within government agencies at that time. I stopped pursuing wealth, status, or promotions at work, and instead focused on working hard and building good relationships with my colleagues. I worked with the goal of serving fellow citizens, put aside my pride, and performed good deeds. I stopped buttering up my superiors and put an end to treating others to free meals and gifts to buy favors. At home, I no longer turned on my family members in anger, and in turn, I obtained their full support to practice Dafa. Our family became harmonious and peaceful. Besides studying the Fa and practicing the exercises, I visit relatives and friends to spread the goodness of Dafa in the hope that they will see the benefits and start practicing like me. I teach new students exercise movements and make sure to clean up our Fa study site early each morning to ensure a clean and tidy Fa study environment. Like millions of other Dafa disciples, I am blessed to be bathed in the grace of Dafa, and no words can express my gratitude to Master and Dafa. Curious about Falun Gong or want to understand the challenges practitioners face in China? Explore the trusted resources linked below for more information. If this story inspired you, please subscribe, like, and share. Your engagement supports the channel and keeps these genuine voices heard.